about you, David? Because you weren't ever a Chelsea fan that spoke about you're going to win league titles, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. But it does seem to be a lot of talk at the minute about sacking Enzo Maresca, the players not being good enough. A lot of turmoil at your club on this bad run you're on.
Yeah, I don't know why they're talking about Maresca, to be honest, because you look at the squad and there's massive holes in it. They're like, for me, I keep telling people, no matter how much you think Enzo's improved defensively, and he has to his credit, he's just not a defensive midfielder. Like, he's just not. Why do you think he is? Because he's just not. His best attribute is creating and attacking in the third, like progressing the ball forward. So
all action midfielder, David. No? All action, bro.
But I don't believe in that. I'm not one of those Chelsea fans that believes he is all action. So you can't whack that tag on me. I've never said that. Again,
that's annoying.
Thinking that there are certain, again, you look at our defense, there's no leader in that defense. And I think when Colwill and Fofana are together, that's probably your best pairing. But still, it's still very shaky. And as I was saying from the start of the season, having Robert Sanchez behind them makes them even more prone to mistakes because he's so bad. And I know it's funny because we brought in Jorgensen, and yeah, he didn't have a great performance in the last game. But one, nobody did, and two, despite how bad Jorgensen was, no one can tell me that wasn't an average Robert Sanchez performance, because that's probably better than an average Robert Sanchez performance. When I have Jorgensen in goal, while he's maybe not is he an elite goalkeeper? I think it's too early to tell. I'd say currently probably not. He doesn't really. I'm not scared every time he gets the ball at his feet. Whereas with Robert Sanchez, it's like I'm petrified of what's going on. So do you know what I mean? There are mistakes Maresca's made. You probably should have got rid of Sanchez earlier. Probably should have. I don't think we should ever play Enzo and Caicedo together for consecutive runs of games. You can do them in the odd game. When we did it against Spurs, it worked because it was something they probably hadn't planned for, and the way the game was going, it was probably more ideal for the team. But I don't think you can have that midfield pairing for game on game on game on game because it just leaks too many chances, and you're too poor in the transition to make up for it. And again, we don't have guaranteed goals, which is a massive problem, because when you're not scoring and you can't defend, that's a recipe for a disaster.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's why a lot of the Chelsea fans that I come across that are like, Enzo's got to go. I think they're the individuals that don't want to admit they were wrong and that they overhyped certain members of the squad. For instance, they'd all go at Sanchez, but the way I've heard some of them talk about Jorgensen like he is the savior, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think there's anyone on your books as a keeper that's good enough. The way so many of your defenders were hyped up, whether it be ability or availability, they're nowhere near where they should be. The midfield. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I thought Dewsbury Hall would be a lot better at Chelsea than he's been, to be fair. But I can admit that. I look at the three main midfielders. Caicedo, excellent. Everyone's right about him. Mm-hmm. I think everyone's wrong about Enzo and Lavia. Lavia on ability, great. But on availability, he's shit. If you can't play, you are terrible. Because you're literally zero impact on the game, right? If you get understand my meaning. When it comes to the attack, and I want to read something here. I want to read this out. This is from a Chelsea legend in Obi Mikel. And he said today, Jadon Sancho came in and deceived us, as in Chelsea. He says, with a couple of games, and we thought, fucking hell, we're getting the Sancho from Dortmund, but he's gone again. I don't know what happened to him, but he has disappeared off the grid. But it isn't just him. Neto's performances have not been consistent. Madueke's are not consistent. Palmer is going through a bad patch, and I think he's getting a lot of stick when he shouldn't be because he's been so good in the first 18 months of his career. Jackson started well. When the pressure came on, he faded, and none of us have seen enough of Mark Yu to have an opinion. Is it this, David, just not a case of maybe the Chelsea fans are turning and going toxic right now? Is it maybe not that they just overhype this squad, and actually what Maresca needs is the board to buy in better players?
I personally think that there's a lot of Chelsea fans with egg on their faces who aren't ready to admit it. Because when I was sat here, one thing, everyone who has watched me for the past, even since I've been starting the Terrace, the first thing that you probably knew about me was I hate young players. Why? They aren't consistent. Literally, people used to give me
Mason
so
Mount.
much. people used to give me so much stick for saying it. And then my club adopted the strategy. And me and myself, as someone who's not a big fan of them, I said, fine, if we're going to do this, let's do it. But I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to pile loads of pressure on them from the start. And then the start of this year, when we played well, people were like, oh, title race. I was there like, are you all stupid? This is going to, like, it's going to.
Yeah, I hated that about you as well, man. I was
because
about
because no matter how close, we were 2 points. There were times when we were one.
We needed you to inject that Don energy. We needed that Don in you, bro.
If Liverpool played at 12, if Liverpool played at 12:30 on the Saturday, and if Liverpool and us had switched fixtures in terms of timing, and we'd gone 1 point above them, you all would have been sat here saying, David, why are you saying it? And it wouldn't have changed. Because I knew it was coming. Again, what I think is going to happen is that we'll go through this bad patch and then we'll level out and we'll probably finish around 4th or 5th. That's what I think is going to happen. That's genuinely what I genuinely believe. Because I just don't think even despite how bad we've been, the Brighton game is an outlier. The Brighton game was genuinely terrible. That was a really bad game. But apart from the Brighton game, we still create chances. We can see chances on goal, but hopefully with Jorgensen and not Sanchez, it will be a lot less stress on the defense, in my personal opinion. But I don't think Maresca's got to change anything dramatically or anything. I'd rather he does the Amorim approach and stick to weeding out what's good enough and what's not. That's my opinion 100%, because I think I've seen enough in that first 20 games when it's like, if we had a squad where you could rotate players and put people in and they'd actually be good enough, that you'd actually be able to progress. And also, as I said before we even got Maresca, why did we sack Poch? Because even if you'd like Poch or not, I felt this squad needs consistency. I think when you've got a young team, the thing that helps them the most is a level of consistency where they're playing week in, week out, and they've got the same person giving them the same instructions. I think if you chop and change everything, all you do is stunt their growth. Imagine you had like a flower, you pour water on it, and then 3 months in, you stop giving it water. And then another 3 months after, you started giving it water again. It's obviously going to not look like a proper flower by the end of it because you've messed around with it too much. It won't look right.
You started this flower thing.
No, but you know what I mean?
The flower analogy, I would say more changing the direction of which the light comes in. It would grow bent, wouldn't it? 1 week it's going this way, and then you move the light the other side, and it would grow the other way. It wouldn't grow naturally. It would look a bit mangled.
I know water's a bad example because it needs water. Do you know what I mean? But it was
water doesn't change.
Yeah, you wouldn't know this guy's about to get a PhD, would you? Fucking hell, or whatever it is he's doing. But listen, I hear you completely. And look, of course, there's things to criticize Maresca about. And it's not about him being exempt. I just think a lot of the Chelsea fans I listened to a lot of podcasts this weekend, and there seems to be this element of, if I blame him, I can still keep saying my squad's better than Arsenal's. I can still keep saying that my team is one of the best in the league, as opposed to actually Maresca's made mistakes, but some of the players have shown themselves this season to not be. And I tell you, when they showed themselves to not be good enough was when the pressure was on. As soon as title talk was being put around, a lot of them puppers went. The old April went. The April, and that's not a dig. I think it's a good thing for Chelsea. It's a good thing to go, oh, we know he can't handle pressure. You've got to look to buy someone better who can, because if you're going to keep improving, you're going to be in more of these title race situations. This comment here says, just don't forget you said Cole Palmer was the best player in the world. That isn't what I said.
I said on form, Cole Palmer is playing like one of the best players in the world, and I still believe that to this day.
I thought it was a dig at me.
Did you say one? Did you say one of the?
I said okay, fine. If we could go to.
Just ask. I'm asking, David. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just asking. Why's your back up against the wall? Chill. You look stressed.
To this day, I still believe it to this day. Saka has never touched that level that Cole got to, and I'll still say it to this day with chess. I believe it because Cole, that output he was doing, it was like no matter what situation, no matter what was going on, goal, assist. This guy was going crazy. He was going crazy, bro. And that man, and Tom was there.
Season,
if he had been playing that Euros final, we would have won. This country would have had a trophy next to it. I'm saying it with chest. I believe it.
You hold on to that, brother. You hold on.
No, but again,
I don't disagree with that last
season.
part. To be fair, Foden, Harry Kane, or Ollie Watkins, Palmer. I know which one I wanted.
Saka's amazing, but I just thought Cole was playing at a level that was like
on Palmer though. On Palmer, a lot of Chelsea fans, I've seen CB trending today and others absolutely going in on him that he's sort of fallen off, not happy with the performances. Kate, what do you think's led to that? We'll have a bit of a discussion about that as a panel. Viewers, we want to get your thoughts on it as well.